Good evening. Welcome to the 6 o'clock hour of our coverage of the winter storm for Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Hopefully, this time we can get through this without any phone calls. But part of being a consulting meteorologist is that you have a lot of clients trying to give you a call, give you a text. So hopefully, we can avoid that for this hour. We'll see. So let's take a look at our current observations, and we're seeing snow starting to break out throughout southern New Jersey. Moderate shots here showing up. We had originally in Wildwood, now we're seeing it in Millville. We're seeing light snow showing up in Philadelphia, and just in northeast of Philadelphia, it's starting to snow and accumulate pretty quickly. Throughout southeastern Pennsylvania, we're seeing snow being reported, and in central New Jersey, we're just starting to get snow getting reported. Right around Howell, in fact, one of my ex followers has actually let us know. Michael Hufferman has let us know that it is light snow in Howell, temperature of 34 degrees. And also in Freehold, it is still cloudy right now, but our temperature continues to fall, which means Virga is going on, which is basically precipitation falling from the clouds, but evaporating before reaching the ground. So this process typically happens in the winter where the atmosphere gets more and more moisture and then eventually gives way to snow. And notice where it is starting to snow, we are getting our temperatures falling off pretty nicely here into the lower 30s. So the evolution of our snow in the southern half of New Jersey is actually working out pretty much as expected. Now, what I mentioned last time, and I want to kind of expound on it a little bit, is this part right here, why I find it so interesting. You see, when you have strong convergence and confluence, that's sinking air in the atmosphere, you basically get a suppression and a strong cutoff of the precipitation shield, which is what we're looking at here. When you see this signal here, it is support for potential growth and areas in the atmosphere that are supporting what we call frontogenesis, which is basically a form of lifting in the atmosphere. So when you're seeing this, it tells me that there is potential for expansion northward, that the suppression is not really all that strong, and that it's going to support the ability for our precipitation shield to expand northward. And that's why this signal right here, very, very slight signal of a little bit of spread in the atmosphere. Okay, again, this is at 250 millibars. Why is this spread important? Well, think of it like taffy, right? When you pull on taffy, sometimes you get like these little holes in the atmosphere. You're always looking for a balance, right? So when you have these little holes, the air has to rise to fill it, right? So when you're seeing that spreading over the mid-Atlantic like this supports rising air, and this supports frontogenesis, supporting the potential for precipitation. And the fact that we're seeing this as far north as New York City tells me the precipitation shield, i.e., the snow, can expand further northward. And that allows for this. Now, you might be saying, okay, Stephen, what does this mean? These are colder cloud tops, and this is the line of frontogenesis in the mid levels of the atmosphere. So, again, the colder the cloud top, the stronger the lifting, the heavier the precipitation. So what we're seeing here is an evolution of support for lifting in the atmosphere of that moisture. So again, this all plays into the idea of precipitation growing and expanding northward. This map here is from the SPC, and what this basically tells me is that it confirms graphically everything I am seeing in the visual, in the radar, the satellite picture, and so on and so forth. This supports the divergence and diffluence aloft and the convergence and confluence at the surface. So think of the air coming in like this, lifting, expanding out. So it's doing one of these, okay? And when you have this in the atmosphere, it allows for moisture to rise and precipitation to fall. So that is a very important sign in the evolution of this storm. When we take a look at frontogenesis, this is 700 millibars. This looks like to be the leading edge of our precipitation shield. So This is the lifting that we're watching. Notice we have some frontogenesis here, which matches up to some of the precipitation echoes we have over here. And then you have this frontogenesis here that is slowly pushing northward. So this is all lifting northward towards Long Island. So this here is going to support the expansion of precipitation eventually taking place in central New Jersey and getting up to New York City, supporting light snow. So again, this is all playing out pretty much as expected on the radar. Now, if you want to watch the growth of the actual snow shield, because this can be confusing, because this looks like a whole lot of virga up here, and what is actually falling from to the ground. Well, if you go onto the radar, in this case we're using WeatherTap, but you could also go to the National Weather Service and look for the base reflectivity. That's the lowest layer in the radar. Okay, and what that tells you is what's actually precipitating at the lowest level. And you can see that snow shield pressing northward. Now you can see why you're getting reports in Howell, why you're getting reports in Philadelphia. This matches up very nicely to the observations, and you're starting to see the support for some flurries showing up to the north of us that's going to expand northward and push northward. So thus far, the overall observations support what we have expected with the forecast. We'll continue to watch the evolution of this storm, and if there's any unusual updates or unusual developments, we'll of course let you know right here live. In the meantime, stay safe out there.